I went to my fiancé's birthday celebration knowing she was cheating, so I revealed her affair in front of everyone and left them all stunned. Be me, 29-year-old Ethan, work as marketing coordinator for mid-sized company, living what most people would call the dream life. Good job, nice house, married to Jessica for 3 years. Miami became our home 2 years ago. Never regretted the move. Eternal sunshine and beaches everywhere. Perfect for our lifestyle. This particular evening was supposed to be a quick 10-minute stop. Still wearing my dress shirt and tie from work. Smelling like coffee and stress from another long day at the office. Had some paperwork in my briefcase. Half-eaten sandwich sitting in my car's cup holder. Jessica had texted earlier about being out with the girls again. Decided to do something borderline thoughtful for once. Her laptop charger was sitting on our dresser. She'd need it tomorrow for her remote work. Simple gesture. No real agenda. Just wanted to see her smile without having to beg for one. Pull into Madison Street around 9 p.m. Her place was lit up like some college fraternity party. Way too many cars parked outside. Too much noise spilling out for a casual girls' night. Still decide to park and get out. Grabbed the charger and a bottle of red wine I'd been saving. The porch light was flickering like a broken neon sign. Front door wasn't closed all the way. Could hear music and voices from inside. Step inside without knocking. Place smelled like something stale and sour. Disguised poorly with cheap vanilla perfume. Laughter and conversation echoing down the hallway. The second I stepped through that doorframe, felt this weird off-balance sensation. Like when the air pressure drops before a storm. Not wrong like physical danger. Wrong like betrayal was hanging in the atmosphere. Hallway opened up to the main living room. Maybe 15 or 16 people scattered around. Dim lighting casting shadows everywhere. Cheap vodka and whiskey bottles lined up on the counter. Like some amateur bar setup, half the faces were complete strangers to me. Music was just loud enough to muffle private conversations. And right there in the center of the main couch, sat my wife Jessica. She was leaned in toward some guy with a cocky expression. Expensive-looking sneakers, designer jeans, her legs crossed toward him like magnets, one hand resting on his shoulder like it belonged there. Her head tilted back when she laughed at something he said. This soft, fake little giggle I hadn't heard in months. His hand was playing with her hair. Her lipstick was darker and more dramatic than usual. The neckline of her black dress was way deeper than normal. The amount of skin showing definitely wasn't picked out for girls' night. She didn't notice me standing there at first. Not yet anyway. Some woman to my left glanced in my direction, paused mid-sip of her drink and stared. Someone whispered something to their friend. Jessica suddenly turned around. Our eyes locked across the room. In that split second, I watched every possible excuse flash behind her pupils like a slideshow. Shock, panic, quick calculation. But not guilt, not even once. Just this flicker of pure annoyance that I'd shown up uninvited. Take 2 steps into the room. Hold up the laptop charger like it's evidence of a crime. Ask loud enough to silence all the background noise. This what you meant by wine night, Jess? The guy beside her immediately tenses up. She stands up slowly, smoothing down her dress like appearances still matter. And then she has the absolute audacity to say it. Not sorry, not any kind of explanation. Why are you here? That was the exact moment everything changed. Not the couch scene with her draped over some stranger. Not his hand casually resting on her thigh. Not even the perfume I definitely didn't buy for her. That question, delivered in that tone, like I was the one intruding on something sacred, like I was the problem in this equation. Look at her. Really look at her for the first time. Realize she wasn't even afraid of being caught. Just pissed that she'd been interrupted before she could cover her tracks. Everyone in the room was staring at us now. Madison whispered something urgent to the girl beside her. The guy Jessica was with shifted closer like moral support, like he was her backup plan in human form. Don't yell, don't throw the wine bottle. Don't start swinging like some unhinged psycho. Don't say a single word for what feels like 10 long seconds. Then speak very carefully and deliberately. You left your wedding ring on the kitchen counter this morning. Thought you just forgot it when you rushed out. Now I understand why you left it behind. Jessica's face finally cracks for a moment. Not with shame or embarrassment, though. Something much crueler flashes in her eyes. She actually rolls her eyes at me like I'm being dramatic. Don't make this into some big theatrical scene, Ethan. And that's when something inside me stops trying to be understanding. She said it like I'd embarrassed her in front of her friends. Like I had brought shame into that room by showing up unannounced. Not her by being draped across some random guy. Like she'd forgotten what our wedding vows actually sounded like. That smug, dismissive tone in her voice. Don't make this dramatic, Ethan. Still rings in my ears like a car alarm going off at 3 a.m. The kind you can't shut off no matter how hard you try. No matter how many times you punch the steering wheel. Should have just walked out right then and there. But I didn't do the smart thing. Instead, I look straight at the guy she's been cuddling with. He doesn't even flinch when I stare him down. Too confident, too sure he was safe. Protected in the middle of her carefully constructed web of lies. Average height. Clearly hits the gym regularly. Fake Rolex glinting on his wrist. Tight button-down shirt with just enough buttons undone. To say, look at me, I'm worth your attention. He gives me this subtle smirk. Not wide or obviously cocky. Just enough attitude to communicate. She already told me you wouldn't show up here. So I ask him quietly, keeping my voice controlled. You know she's married to me? He blinks once but doesn't give me an answer. Jessica actually snorts like I just told the world's worst joke. Oh my God, Ethan, it's really not like that. Glanced down at the hand she just pulled off his chest. Looked pretty damn clear to me what was happening. She crosses her arms defensively. Tilts her head like a judge about to dismiss a frivolous case. You're acting absolutely crazy right now. Tyler's just a friend from work. We're all just hanging out and having drinks. Didn't look like innocent hanging out from where I was standing. Could hear my voice starting to slip from calm. The controlled composure was beginning to splinter. She steps forward, close enough for me to see, the glitter on her collarbone catching the dim light. The lie already forming behind her teeth. If you're going to make a scene about nothing, at least do it outside where you won't embarrass everyone. You mean out of sight? I ask her directly. Like everything else you've been hiding from me lately? That comment hits its target. Her jaw locks up tight. The temperature in the room drops noticeably. Madison tries to cut into our conversation. Maybe you guys should just... Shut up, Madison! I snap without even turning around. My eyes never leave Jessica's face, and she knows I'm right about the hiding. She did know exactly what she was doing. Her guilty silence said more than any apology ever could have. She looks away from my stare. So do several other people in the room. The uncomfortable tension was getting too thick to ignore. Jessica's whole posture changes in an instant. Chin higher, chest out like she's suddenly the victim. Like she's the one being wronged in this situation. I didn't cheat on you, Ethan. Didn't cheat, I echo back, shaking my head in disbelief. You're practically playing Twister on a couch. With a guy whose full name I don't even know? She actually starts laughing. Dry, mocking sound with zero humor in it. We didn't do anything physical together. If that's what you're about to scream about, in your pathetic little jealous meltdown, you've already done enough damage for one night. Stare at her for a long beat. And this next part I will never forget as long as I live. She turns back to Tyler, puts her hand right back on his shoulder, looks him in the eyes and says, You see what I have to deal with at home? Something inside me finally gives out completely. Not anger, not heartbreak, just that quiet, icy click you feel. When something breaks so deep, you know you can't fix it. Nod once, turn around, and walk straight out. No yelling, no slamming doors dramatically. But something fundamental ended that night. Don't think she even noticed it happening. The drive home doesn't feel real at all. Don't even remember starting the engine. The keys must have turned themselves somehow. My hands are shaking, but not violently. Just that slow, dull tremor you get when your body's catching up to a shock that your mind already understands completely. She looked me dead in the eye and played the victim card right in front of Tyler, right in front of everyone at that party. She didn't even try to cover it up or make excuses. No panic, no stammering, no embarrassment. Just lies dressed up in casual, dismissive tones. Like I was overreacting to something innocent, like her sitting in some guy's lap, while calling it a girls' night, was a misunderstanding I should apologize for. And I almost did exactly that. That's honestly the worst part of this whole thing. There was a moment driving through that dark stretch, past Cedar Lake, where I actually questioned myself. Wondered if I'd misread the entire situation. If maybe it wasn't as bad as it looked from my perspective. That's how deep she'd worked her manipulation into me. That instinct to defend her actions, even when she had her nails sunk into someone else's shoulder. Pull into our driveway and just sit there, engine ticking as it cools down. The porch light was off like always. House looked exactly like it did every other night. Perfect on the outside, quiet, clean. A magazine picture of what happiness is supposed to look like. But inside I could already feel the rot spreading. Like something had died in the walls. Walk through the front door. Place smells like citrus cleaner and lies. The laundry she never bothered folding, still sitting in the basket where she left it. Her earrings scattered on the kitchen counter. Her wedding ring, the one I mentioned at the party, was exactly where she abandoned it, next to the sink like it was nothing more than costume jewelry. Pick up the ring and stare at it. No scratches, no dents from years of wear. Just a cold, polished circle of white gold. That apparently meant absolutely nothing to her. Now I'm definitely not sleeping tonight. Sit on the couch in complete darkness. Start scrolling through our text message history. So many love you too messages. So many check-ins about her day. So many plans for our future together. Start reading between the lines for the first time. All those nights she came home late from work. All those weekends she swore she needed me time. All those smiles that never quite reached her eyes. When we talked about buying a house together. When we discussed having kids someday. And then I do something I hadn't planned on doing. Something I never thought I'd stoop to. Open her iPad that's sitting on the coffee table. It's synced to her phone automatically. Don't even have to guess her password. It's still my birthday, March 15th. And there it was. Everything I needed to see. Text messages, dozens and dozens of them. Not just with Tyler from tonight, but with other guys too. Flirty conversations with someone named Kevin. A long string of heart emojis with a guy listed as Steve W. A voice note she sent 3 nights ago. Whispering something about how he never touches me like you do. Feel physically sick reading this stuff. Screenshots saved in her photo album. Pictures that aren't graphic but close enough. That the intention was impossible to deny. Her in the bathroom mirror biting her lip seductively. Her in that red dress she told me she hated, the same one she wore the night she said she had to work late. All of it stored neatly under her iCloud account, like it was a digital scrapbook of betrayal. Don't cry, don't throw the iPad across the room. Don't scream or punch the wall. Just sit there completely numb, like I'm watching someone else's life fall apart. And somewhere between 3:17 and 4:08 a.m., I know with absolute certainty that I will never look at her the same way again, that the woman I married doesn't exist anymore. Maybe she never did in the first place. At 8:47 a.m., I hear her car pulling up the driveway. Haven't moved from the couch in hours. Been staring at nothing, letting the silence crawl over me like a wet, suffocating blanket. Know the sound of her tires on our gravel. Know the soft electronic chime when her car door opens. Jessica always walked like her heels had something to prove, clicking just fast enough to say she had somewhere better to be. Front door creaks open slowly. She hesitates in the doorframe, like she doesn't know whether to come inside or run. Watch her silhouette shift against the morning light. Then she steps inside carefully. Like the house isn't hers anymore. Like she's trespassing on someone else's property. Her voice comes out soft and cautious. Ethan? Don't answer her. Don't even acknowledge she's there. She walks a few more steps into the house, then sees me hunched on the couch, elbows on my knees, her wedding ring still clutched in my fist. Ethan, she says again. This time with more annoyance in her tone, like I'm making things difficult for her. Still don't say a single word. She drops her purse way too loud on the entryway table. The sound echoes through the quiet house. Are we really doing this right now? Seriously? Finally turn to face her after ignoring her. My voice comes out lower than I expected. You lied to my face last night. She blinks, smooths down her wrinkled dress. Her makeup is smudged, lipstick half gone. She doesn't even look tired, though. Just annoyed that I'm still upset about it. Can we please not turn this into a soap opera? You walked in on me having drinks with friends. And you completely freaked out for no reason. You were wrapped around Tyler like you forgot we were married. I walked in and you froze like you'd been caught. That wasn't nothing, Jessica. She sighs like I'm boring her to death. You're blowing this completely out of proportion. Stand up from the couch, hold out her iPad. Then explain this to me. Her eyes dart down to the screen. She doesn't reach for it or try to grab it. I didn't mean to go through your private stuff, but you left it open on the coffee table. And what I saw there, Jesus Christ, Jessica. She crosses her arms defensively, makes herself look smaller and more vulnerable. You shouldn't have looked through my personal messages. That's what you're focusing on right now? Turn toward the hallway without answering. I'm not doing this at 6 in the morning. Follow her as she tries to escape. No, you don't get to just disappear into the bedroom. Like this is just another normal Tuesday. You don't get to sleep off your affair. While I sit here wondering if any of this was ever real, she spins around on me in the hallway. It wasn't an affair, Ethan. I didn't sleep with Tyler or anyone else. Okay, we were just talking and texting. I needed someone to talk to about my feelings. You're always working late or checking out mentally. You don't even see me anymore as a person. That was it. That was her trump card. I was somehow to blame because I work hard. Because I trusted her completely. Because I didn't monitor her every move. Stare at her absolutely stunned by the audacity. So instead of talking to me, your actual husband, you played footsie with gym rats at parties. And texted voice notes about how I don't touch you right. You flirted like some desperate teenager. You sent pictures of yourself to other men. You let some random guy put his hand between your legs. At a party and had the gall to say I checked out? She opens her mouth, then closes it, then whispers in this pathetic victim voice. You don't know how lonely it's been for me. And there it was, exactly what she wanted me to hear. Her loneliness. her unmet emotional needs, like that somehow justified everything she did. Like that made it okay to betray our marriage. Take a deep breath. I'm not yelling anymore. Actually done yelling at this point. You could have told me you were unhappy. You could have begged me to go to couples therapy. You could have screamed at me about neglecting you. But instead you chose to betray me behind my back. She turns away from me like she can't handle the truth. Drop her wedding ring on the hallway table. It makes this loud metallic sound. I'm not your excuse anymore, Jessica. The sound of her ring hitting that wooden table echoes louder than anything either of us had said. Spins once, twice, then goes completely still. She doesn't even glance down at it. Just walks right past it, walks right past me, into the bedroom like I hadn't just shattered. The foundation of our entire marriage in one sentence, like she was retreating into some familiar cave where accountability couldn't reach her. Stand in that hallway way longer than I should, staring at the closed bedroom door, listening for something, anything. No crying, no scrambling to fix what she broke. No apology, no sign she even cares. Walk into the kitchen and pour myself a glass of water, even though my stomach has no interest in swallowing anything right now. My hands are cold, knuckles stiff. My whole body feels like it doesn't belong in this house anymore, like it's been ejected from something it helped build. Half an hour passes, maybe more. Finally get the courage to crack the bedroom door open. She's lying on our bed, scrolling through her phone. Calm, comfortable, not even pretending to be upset. Jessica. She doesn't bother looking up from her screen. What do you want now? Do you even care that our marriage is falling apart? That finally gets her attention. She sits up slightly, propped on one elbow. Phone still clutched in her hand like a lifeline. Of course I care about us. But I'm not going to stand here and let you corner me like some kind of criminal when I haven't even gotten any sleep. You're not tired, I tell her flat out. You're just done pretending to give a shit. She tilts her head, and for just a second, something flickers in her eyes. Annoyance? Regret? No, definitely not regret. Pity. She actually pities me. Like I'm the sad fool in this story, who didn't see any of it coming. Walk further into our bedroom. I read all the messages with Tyler. With Kevin, with that guy named Steve. You saved under a fake name in your contacts. This wasn't one mistake, Jessica. This is a pattern of lying and cheating. She looks away from me toward the window. None of them actually mattered to me. That might have been the cruelest thing she could have possibly said right then. Then what did matter? I ask her directly. Because I gave you everything I had. I gave you space when you needed it. I gave you love when you were distant. I gave you time to figure yourself out. Every single time you went cold on me. And you gave me this betrayal in return. Her voice goes completely flat and emotionless. I didn't ask you to do any of that. My breath catches in my throat. That sentence, just 6 words, stabs deeper than anything else she's said. I didn't ask you to. Not, I'm sorry for hurting you. Not, I got lost and made mistakes. Not even it wasn't supposed to happen. Just that cold dismissal. Like my love was some unwelcome burden. She tolerated until something more exciting came along. She sits up fully now, brushing her hair out of her face, like she's gearing up for a business presentation. Ethan, people grow apart sometimes. That's just real life. What do you want me to do? Lie and say I'm still in love with you? Complete silence fills the room. Stare at her like I've been waiting for this mask to fall off. And now it finally has. You're not in love with me? I ask quietly. But you stayed married. You took the vacations with me. You wore the wedding ring when it was convenient. You let me think everything was fine between us. She actually shrugs like it's no big deal. It was easier that way. That was it, easier. Back out of the room like I'd stumbled. Into someone else's house. Someone else's nightmare. Because the woman I married was completely gone. And what she left behind didn't even flinch. Don't remember trying to sleep. Must have passed out on the couch. Sometime after sunrise. Because I wake up with harsh sunlight, glaring through the blinds, and this awful stench of cold coffee in my nostrils. My neck is locked in the worst position possible. There's this thin metallic taste in my mouth. Regret maybe, or fury that dried overnight. Sit up slowly. Everything in my body resists movement, like it knows what this day is going to hold. Jessica is already gone from the house. Her side of the bed cold. Bathroom mirror cleared of all her products. No note, no text message, nothing. Just the faintest scent of her perfume in the hallway. Like she wanted me to know. She'd left on her own terms. Like this was some chess game. And she'd just made the next move. Don't chase after her, don't send desperate texts. Don't call her phone begging for explanations. Instead, I start opening drawers methodically. It's not rage driving me. It's completely clinical. Go from closet to dresser to linen cabinet. quietly collecting everything that belongs to her. Makeup bags, hair straightener, her ridiculous collection of scented bath bombs. Throw it all in cardboard boxes. Label each one clearly. 3 boxes total when I'm finished. Her clothes fill up 2 more boxes. The third one has everything else, including that framed wedding photo she always kept on her nightstand, but hadn't touched in months. Put her wedding ring right on top, right in the center where she can't miss it. Sit down at the kitchen table. Open her iPad one more time. New messages already waiting. Tyler. Last night was wild, you okay, babe? Kevin. Tell me when he leaves so I can come over. Another one from a number she hadn't saved. He doesn't know about us, right? Don't want drama. Sit there reading these messages. From men I'd never met, but now know in the worst possible way. They all sound exactly the same. Casual, arrogant, completely sure that I was the fool stumbling around in the dark, while they got to be her private escape, her secret backup plans, and still, even after everything, she hadn't admitted to doing anything wrong. No confession, no real apology, just indifference wrapped up in fake justifications. So I do the one thing I never thought I'd do. Call my older brother Ryan. We hadn't been close lately with Ryan. Life, distance, disagreements over stupid things. The usual family drama that builds up over time. But I needed someone real right now, someone who wouldn't sugarcoat the truth, or try to play therapist with my emotions. He answers on the second ring. Ethan? Don't even bother saying hello first? I think my marriage is completely over. There's this long pause on the other end. Then his voice comes through steady and serious. Tell me everything that happened. So I do exactly that. Lay it all out from start to finish. From the couch scene at Madison's party, to the text messages I found on her iPad, to her vacant, cold reaction this morning. Don't leave anything out, don't sugarcoat it. He doesn't interrupt me once during the whole story. When I finally finish talking, he says very quietly, "You know what you have to do, right?" I think so, I tell him. Don't think about it, Ethan, you know. You just don't want to admit it yet. Stare down at her wedding ring sitting in the box. She told me that staying with me was just easier. What kind of person says that? Hear him exhale slowly on the other end. Then make it hard for her. Make her face what she's actually done. And in that exact moment, something shifts inside me. Stop waiting for an apology that's never coming. Stop hoping she'll suddenly realize what she's lost. Start planning my actual exit strategy. That afternoon, I make a list. It's not dramatic or emotional. No fire, no slashing up photos. No whiskey-soaked goodbye soundtrack playing. It's quiet, precise, cold in a way I didn't know I was capable of being. Just a man with a pen in his hand, drawing lines through the bones of a life he thought he was building with someone. Divorce attorney, call today. Joint bank account, freeze immediately. Storage unit for her stuff, rent this week. Change the locks, get quotes tomorrow. All completely doable tasks. Stare at the paper for a long time. It looks way too neat and organized, too sane for the kind of madness it represents. But I'm not going crazy here. I'm thinking more clearly than I have in months, maybe years of trying to make it work. Trying too hard, dying by compromise. For the first time, I can see through the fog of making it work and trying harder. And maybe if I just love her enough, I know exactly who she really is now. And it's definitely not my wife. Call a divorce lawyer that same day. Guy named Phillips, referred by Ryan. Voice like gravel and zero sweetness in his tone. The kind of man who's seen too many good people get completely eaten alive by courtrooms, and charmers in expensive heels. He hears the first half of my story and says, she'll try to play sweet and innocent. Trust me on this, but start protecting yourself right now. That same hour I drive to the bank, freeze our joint checking account, leave her enough money for basic expenses, because I'm not trying to be cruel here, but I'm not going to bankroll her dates. With Tyler, Kevin, or Steve either, then I just drive around for a while, not aimless wandering, very deliberate. Go to a local storage facility. Rent a unit under my name only. Unit 247 climate controlled. 20 minutes later, those 3 boxes, with all her belongings, are locked inside. Text her the address with one simple line. Your stuff is here. Pick it up this weekend. She doesn't reply to the message. The silence is somehow louder than screaming. Around 7 p.m., my phone buzzes. Unknown number calling. Pick it up cautiously. Hey, it's Jessica. Her voice is calm, calculated. The voice of someone who rehearsed her tone. Before hitting the call button, I saw what you did with the bank account. And I got your text about my things. Wait for her to say more. I just think it's really childish. To do all this without having a real conversation first. My jaw tenses up immediately. The time for conversation was every night. You said you were just tired. Every weekend you completely vanished. Every lie you wrapped up in a smile. That was our conversation, Jessica. You're twisting everything around. No, I say firmly. You just don't like hearing the truth. Spoken back to you without a filter? She goes quiet for several seconds. Then I hear pure venom in her tone. You're not as innocent as you think you are. There it was, her final defense strategy. If she can't stay clean in this, she'll try to make me dirty too. I never touched another woman, I say with a low voice. I never lied to you about where I was going. I never flirted behind your back with anyone. But maybe that was the actual problem. Maybe being boring and loyal didn't entertain you long enough. A long pause, then she actually laughs. Not sweet, not amused. Just sharp and completely dismissive. Whatever helps you sleep at night. She hangs up on me. And for the first time since this hell started, I actually smile a little bit. Because now I know for certain, she's not confused or broken. She's exactly who she wants to be. And I'm finally done protecting her from the mirror. The next morning feels completely different. Not healed, not even close to that. But cleaner somehow. Like stepping out into cold air after a house fire. Still feel the burn in my lungs. But at least I'm not choking on smoke anymore. Go for a drive before sunrise. No real destination in mind. Just want the wind through the car window. And time away from walls that hold too many fake memories. The house is still technically half hers. But emotionally, she burned her name off everything. The night she looked me in the eye and said staying with me was just easier. When I get back around 9 a.m., her car is sitting in our driveway. She hadn't texted, hadn't called first. Just showed up without any warning. No courtesy, no respect. There's a part of me hoping she's here to fight. Not because I want the drama, but because that would confirm what I already know. She's completely incapable of real remorse. Step into the house, and there she is. Standing in our living room, one hand on her hip like she owns the place. Sunglasses still on even though she's inside. Like this is her stage and she just finished rehearsal. You froze our bank account, she says. Like she just discovered water is wet. I told you I was going to do that, I reply. I had a hair appointment today, Ethan. You know how hard it is to reschedule with Carrie. That was her opening line after everything. Her hair appointment was the priority. Actually laugh out loud. Can't help it. A dry, bitter chuckle that slips out. Before I can stop myself. She frowns at me like I'm insane. You think this is funny? No, I say. But it's absolutely insane. You walked in here after emotionally nuking our marriage. And your main complaint is that your hairstylist might be slightly inconvenienced. She rolls her eyes dramatically. This is exactly why I stopped talking to you. Everything turns into a huge argument. No, Jessica, everything is finally the truth. You don't get to cheat and lie and manipulate. And then cry foul when consequences show up? She takes off her sunglasses very slowly, like she's bracing herself for a physical punch. I didn't cheat on you. Step forward and look her directly in the eyes. Yes, you absolutely did. Maybe not physically, though I'm still not convinced. But emotionally, repeatedly, deliberately. You had backup boyfriends on speed dial. While I was fighting for us completely alone, her voice cracks, but not from sadness. From pure irritation and annoyance. God, you're so fucking dramatic about everything. There it was again, that word. Dramatic. Her favorite weapon. Gesture toward the empty hallway. Your stuff is gone, it's in storage. I'm done with this, Jessica. She blinks once like she's confused. Just like that? No, I tell her. Not just like that. Like this after months of pretending you were still here. After nights of cold shoulders and weak excuses. After discovering that I was just a placeholder. Until you found someone who made you feel special. For 5 fucking minutes. Long silence between us. Then she walks past me toward the front door, brushing my shoulder like I don't exist. Before she opens it, she turns around and says with complete confidence, You're going to regret this decision. Not right now, but you will eventually. No one else will put up with your bullshit. Look her dead in the eye one final time. I really hope not. She slams the door behind her. But for the first time in this whole mess, it doesn't feel like a loss. The door didn't just close behind her. It sealed something permanently. Stand in that silence for a long while. It's not peaceful, not yet anyway. But it's completely honest for the first time. The storm has finally moved through. No more lies to untangle every night. No more late-night fake apologies. No more second-guessing myself. While she texted her gym buddy 3 rooms away, spend that entire day doing what feels like reclaiming. Clean the house not out of spite, but out of pure necessity. Her perfume is still embedded in the throw pillows. The bathroom mirror still has her fingerprints on it. So I scrub and wash every single surface. Toss every picture frame that has her face in it. Into a box I'm never opening again. Take down the photo wall she made in our hallway. The one with the cute clips and fairy lights. Our journey, she used to call it. All those memories gone in one afternoon. Every single photo feels like a lie now. A story she was telling, while writing a completely different one behind my back. Mid-afternoon, I opened my email. She'd sent me something new. Subject line: "We need to talk like adults." Stare at it for a while before opening it. The message is surprisingly short. I think we both said things we didn't mean yesterday. I don't want things to get messy between us. Let's figure this out face to face. Just you and me. No lawyers, please. No apology anywhere in that message. Just that word please at the end. It wasn't even about love or fixing things. It was about control, pure and simple. She felt it slipping away from her and wanted to yank it back. So I reply with one line. "We'll talk one time, public place only." She responds within 5 minutes. "Fine. Tonight at 7. We meet that evening at a diner, halfway between our house and her new apartment." Yes, she'd moved into one already. Found out through a bank statement charge. Typical Jessica, always planning ahead. She shows up in full armor. Fresh hair, fake eyelashes. That blue blouse she wore on our 3rd anniversary. That used to make me feel something special. Now it just looks like camouflage. Slides into the booth across from me, like she's still my loving wife. "Don't smile, don't pretend this is pleasant." "Thanks for meeting me," she says. Adjusting her napkin like this is some business lunch. Nod once and say what you need to say. She leans in closer to me. "Look, we were both unhappy in different ways. I just handled it wrong." "No, Jessica." I cut her off immediately. "You didn't handle it wrong. You chose to betray me repeatedly. You nurtured relationships behind my back. And lied with your whole chest while doing it." Her jaw clenches tight. "Wasn't expecting me to be this direct. So what do you want? You want me to beg?" "No," I say calmly. "I want you to stop pretending you're the victim." She blinks rapidly, processing this. Tries a different approach. "I was lonely, Ethan. You were emotionally distant. I didn't feel wanted or desired anymore. You didn't talk to me about any of it. I tried to get your attention." "No," I cut in again. "You flirted with strangers and called it therapy." Her face flushes red with anger. "You want to save face now?" I continue. "Fine. Sign the papers when they come. No lawyers, no fighting over assets. Just be done with this." She stares at me like I just spoke in another language. Then she says it, the question I've been waiting for. "You really don't love me anymore?" Look at her with clear eyes, steady voice. "I loved you so much I stopped loving myself. That ended the night you made me feel small. In a room full of strangers. So you could feel adored for 5 minutes." Her mouth parts slightly. Nothing comes out, no words at all. Stand up from the booth, toss some cash on the table for my coffee. "Good luck, Jessica," and walk out without looking back. Don't turn around, don't hesitate. Just keep walking toward my car. Don't cry after that meeting. Not in the car, not when I get home, not even when I open the drawer. Where her handwritten wedding vows used to be, they're gone, of course. Just a blank space left behind. Like she took even the paper with her when she moved out. Couldn't risk leaving behind a single trace of who she pretended to be. Instead of crying, I sit on the edge of the bed. My bed now, not ours anymore. And actually breathe. Not shallow, panicked gasps. Like I'd been doing for weeks. A full breath, deep and solid. My lungs actually hold it. Like they'd been waiting for permission. There's this strange relief. In the moment, you finally feel nothing. For someone who once shaped your whole world. Don't even tell anyone about the diner meeting until 2 days later when Ryan comes over to help me move furniture around. Not because I need the help, but because he knows I need the company. Brothers understand that kind of thing. We shove the old couch out to the curb, the one she used to stretch across like a queen. Buy a new one the next morning. Firmer, smaller, darker gray. Actually mine for the first time. While we're working, Ryan asks casually, "So you talked to her again?" Nod and keep lifting. "Yeah, and she wanted to spin the whole thing. Act like we were just two people who drifted apart." Ryan laughs bitterly. "Of course she did." I shut it down completely. Told her it's over. Told her she doesn't get to rewrite the ending. He claps my shoulder firmly. "Good for you, man." Then looks me dead in the eye. "You know what scares them the most?" He asks. "When you stop yelling and start moving on. When you go completely quiet." He was absolutely right about that. Because that's when Jessica started texting again. Not long paragraphs, not "I'm sorry" messages. Just these vague breadcrumb texts, meant to keep the door cracked open. "Just checking on you. Hope you're doing okay. Saw something today that reminded me of you." The kind of messages that invite conversation, without offering any real closure. Classic manipulation bait. Don't respond to any of them. Every time I see her name on my phone screen, picture her face that night on the couch with Tyler. The way she looked through me, like I was interrupting something private. The way she turned to him instead of me. Silence became my answer to everything. Keep walking forward instead. Start jogging again in the mornings. Clean out the garage I'd been avoiding. Donate her old books to the library. Delete her playlists from my phone. Find a box of photos I can't throw out yet. So I tape it shut and leave it in the attic. Maybe I'll burn it someday, maybe I won't. But at least it's not sitting in my living room, pretending to still matter. And the best part of all this, real sleep, actual restful sleep. No more pretending not to notice. When she slipped out of bed to text someone at 2 a.m. No more lying next to a stranger who once said I was her forever. No more waking up wondering if today would be the day she chose to come back to me fully because I no longer wanted her to. She became a chapter in my life. A sharp, painful, unforgettable chapter. But just a chapter, not the ending. Not even close to the ending. The divorce papers are ready by the end of the month. Philip sends them over with quiet efficiency. No dramatic emails, no long legal letters. Just a clean PDF titled, Final Draft Dissolution Agreement. Sit at my kitchen table, my new one. Not the old one she picked out. During that phase where she thought she wanted to be minimalist. Read every single line with a highlighter. Property split clearly defined. No kids, no custody battles. Assets divided cleanly down the middle. Don't contest anything. Don't want more. Don't want to drag this out. I want out. Completely out. All that's left is her signature. The silence between us has stretched long enough that I assume she finally understands. We're not circling back to try again. This isn't a trial separation. This isn't one of those movies where someone realizes too late what they lost. This is real, legal, permanent. Then she shows up at my house again. No warning, just like before. Hear the knock. Look through the peephole. There she is. Same effortless makeup. Same calm mask covering everything. But something is different this time. She's holding a picture frame, one I hadn't seen in a while. Our wedding photo. Open the door, but don't invite her inside. She speaks first, voice softer than usual. I found this in a drawer at my apartment. I didn't take it when I moved out. Just look at her, waiting. Why are you here, Jessica? She hesitates, shifts her weight. I wanted to see if you were really sure about this. Let out a quiet breath. You still think this is up for debate? She steps forward, not too close, but enough to test the boundary. Ethan, we spent 4 years building a life together. We've been through so many things. Maybe I handled this all wrong, but maybe I was just scared and lost. I don't know. You do know, I tell her firmly. You just don't like what it says about you. Her eyes flick down to the wedding frame. We were happy once. We were, I agree. But you started writing a new story behind my back. While pretending to still live in the old one, she blinks fast, no tears come, but I can tell she'd prepared for them. Practiced them maybe in the mirror. I keep thinking, she says softly. What if we just tried again? Laugh once, not from humor, but complete disbelief. You're not here for reconciliation. You're here because I didn't chase you. Because you ran your game and I didn't play. That scares the hell out of you. Her silence is all the confirmation I need. You don't love me, Jessica, I say clearly. You miss having control. You miss being adored unconditionally. But you don't miss me. You miss the version of me that made you feel safe. While you did whatever the hell you wanted. She doesn't deny any of it. Gesture to the picture frame in her hands. Take that with you. It means more to you now than it ever did when we were actually together. She still hesitates at my doorstep, so I say what finally ends it. You don't get to grieve a fire you started. She swallows hard, turns around, and walks away for the last time. Don't watch her go this time either. The door clicks shut behind her, and this time it sounds like real closure. The papers come back signed 2 days later. No note attached. No comment. Just her signature, smooth and distant, like it belonged to someone who'd long since detached herself from the mess she'd made. Stare at it for a moment, not out of sadness, but finality. Then I scan the document file, hit send on the email to Phillips. And just like that, my marriage is officially over. No ceremony, no big dramatic fight. Just silence, a cursor blinking on a computer screen. And a name I no longer have to share a life with. The closure doesn't hit me all at once. It comes in pieces over time. The next morning I make coffee and don't check my phone for messages. There's no expectation anymore. No hoping for a good morning text. No anxiety over who she might be messaging while sitting across from me at breakfast, pretending to scroll through news headlines. Go to work, answer emails normally, Don't flinch when someone mentions her name. Even go out for drinks with some friends I hadn't seen since our wedding day. When they ask how I'm holding up, don't lie or put on a fake smile. Tell them the honest truth, not the messy, dramatic details, but the real version. She broke it. I picked myself up. That weekend, I clear out the last remnants. Find one of her old sweaters under the bed, a pair of high heels in the back of the closet, a notebook she used to write in, mostly empty now except for grocery lists. Box it all up and drop it at her apartment building's front desk. No warning, no message attached. Just closure delivered in cardboard. She doesn't text me after that delivery. Doesn't ask how I'm doing. Doesn't try to come back again. Maybe she found a new shoulder to cry on. Or maybe she finally realized the mirror she'd been avoiding had followed her into every room. As for me, I start running again. Pick up the guitar I hadn't touched in years. Reconnect with Ryan on a regular basis. Actually laugh without feeling like I have to fake it for appearances. My house starts to feel like home again. Not because it's perfect, but because it's genuinely mine. Don't hate her, don't wish her pain. Don't want revenge or karma to strike. What I want and finally have is peace. That version of love, the one I fought to keep alive, died the night she chose someone else's attention over my loyalty and commitment. But in its place, something else grew. Something quieter, stronger. Self-respect. If you're reading this because you've seen the same signs, the cold distance, the sudden secrecy, the gaslighting that makes you question your own gut instincts, let me tell you something important. Trust yourself completely. People who actually love you don't make you feel crazy for asking simple questions. They don't replace genuine connection with manipulation. And they sure as hell don't sit in someone else's lap and call it loneliness. Lost someone I thought was my forever. But I found something much better. I found myself again,